This is Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
Nova.
An honour to have UK's funniest man. That's a good title. Jimmy Carr's in the studio.
What kind of a Mickey Mouse station is on a bridge? You're on a bridge.
Sorry about that.
This is a terrible piece of real estate. I realise the listeners don't get this. It sounds glamorous when you listen. Oh, it's got records and they give away tickets to Harry Styles. It seems like a proper radio station, but it isn't. I've had to come in under a bridge like a troll.
Sorry about that. Sorry, Jimmy. I mean, we put on food and drinks and things. Like, we've gone to some effort.
Food and drinks and
You know what I mean?
Well,
Stop it.
we have the traffic on the bridge as well, so we can see the traffic that comes into Sydney, Jimmy.
Is that for traffic and travel? You just look out the
Yeah.
window and go, yeah, it looks all right. People are going
There it
places.
is there, Jimmy. It's on the big screen, so we can give the people the sense of...
Sorry, I hadn't noticed that. They've got a big 70-inch TV screen with a view of what's going on. You'd only have to crane your neck slightly to look out the window and see the same thing.
It's good, isn't it?
Somewhere, Greta Thunberg is crying. At just the waste of it. Just the waste of it all.
Jimmy, it's an honour to have you in the studio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is. You're very lucky.
Very
I've come
lucky.
in. I enjoy chatting to you guys on the phone, and I thought I'd come in and sort of see. Well, partly I was kind of surprised you were still employed at this stage. I presumed you were just kind of, holding on till they found a permanent host.
That's a really good point.
it's
Did you want Harry Styles tickets? Did you need tickets to see?
I've spent a lot of time with Harry over
Have
the
you?
years. I know Harry pretty well.
Has he seen your show?
I don't know if he's ever seen my show. No, I've never seen him live. I've seen him do things. He used to live with a mate of mine, and he's a great guy. I've got a great picture of him and Stephen Hawkins at a party at my house doing shots together. The three of us doing shots. That's a weird day out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's like that's a proper party. You know you've had a party when that happens. But Harry was so polite. We used to see him quite a lot of parties at sort of ours, and whenever he would throw anyone in the pool, he would sometimes throw a lady in the pool, and he would throw them in the pool. He was such a nice man. He would go, "Do you have you got your mobile phone on you? Do you want to take it out of your pocket? I was going to throw you in the pool, but it's just so you got a great story because Harry Styles threw you in your pool." And they go, "Yeah, throw us in the pool."
Happy to be thrown in the pool by Harry
course, they
Styles.
would melt.
Tommy and I came to the show last night, and I don't know whether he was trying to impersonate, but he almost sounded like an echo. He was right up the back.
Yeah, a few people have got my laugh.
And
It's
the
catchy.
laugh would come out at a certain time after a joke, and you'd go, "Hang on a minute, was that
I
Jimmy?"
do like that thing of how revealing a comedy show is. If you go with a mate or go with a partner, like what they laugh at really gives you away. It's very because your sense of humour kind of betrays you.
Definitely.
You laugh first. Like my favourite noise at a comedy show is when people laugh and then there's an intake of breath. So you sort of laugh and go, and then their conscience arrives late to the party and goes, "We shouldn't have laughed at that." You're an absolute disgrace, man.
Have you? I mean, I love the bloke last night too who attempted to heckle. And
I listen, he had a bloody good go, and you've got to admire that spirit. But, as I said at the time, he's brought a knife to a gunfight.
and you've got 2,000 friends here.
Yeah.
Do you get many walkouts, Jimmy? People that say, "No, he's gone too far. This guy's out of control. I'm
No,
gone."
I mean, not at this stage, because people are kind of...
Yeah, they get
I
it.
suppose occasionally you would get someone that's like seen something like Cat's Countdown on TV and go, "Oh, this is a nice show. I love word quizzes. Yay." And then comes and sees me live and it's like, "Oh, the Caligula would have blushed at the stuff this guy's talking about." So yeah, I'm sure you get some people going home shot, but it's pretty funny.
It's
People, and they're so clearly jokes, quite old-fashioned in a way to tell jokes. Most people, you go and see a comedy show and they tell stories. There's lots of different sort of schools of comedy, and I'm very much kind of a gag guy. That's my kind of love language. I write some longer stuff, but
Do you know why I was glad that my wife wasn't there last night? Because you clearly pointed out in part of your stand-up about how hopeless the dad is in the role that he plays and how phenomenal the woman is in what mums do.
well, yeah. I mean, I've oft said it's being a mum is a full-time job. Being a dad is a lovely hobby.
Yeah.
That about sums it up, doesn't it?
It is.
We sort of, we turn up a little bit, but there's actually quite a long routine for me.
Yeah.
Normally, it's a laugh every sort of, maybe 4 a minute, something like that, quite quick fire.
Yeah.
But then I've got quite a long routine about being a dad, which is, it's fun enough, isn't it?
It is fun enough.
It is. It's a hobby.
Can we talk about I was talking about the monarchy before, but the coronation is coming up. Is that? I mean,
I'm missing it. I'm back here doing gigs.
Wow.
In May, the coronation it's kind of weird. It was weird when the Queen died. For me, like as a British guy, I was overseas doing gigs and I was kind of watching BBC News and it's like, oh wow, the whole country's gone into sort of a weird cosplay Game of Thrones. Thrones for 2 weeks. It just seems so bizarre.
Doesn't it?
It's like I keep on expecting the Lannisters to turn up. And are they going to turn up and kill everybody at the coronation? We go, oh my God, no one saw that coming.
We're lucky enough, we told you we had a treat. Jimmy Carr is with us in the studio.
It's Fitzy and Wippa.
Wow.
Jimmy Carr. Well, you had your own radio show there for a while, weekend show on BBC Two. Is that correct?
Yeah, we got taken off air. We had official complaints upheld against us. I used to do it with a guy called Ian Morris, who wrote The In-Betweeners. Do you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he used to write that. He's a very funny guy.
Didn't you do a gypsy joke and then you refused to apologise?
That was Netflix last year. I sometimes... Hey... Thankfully, the gypsies have moved on. Look, here's the thing. If you start apologising for jokes, the next 20 years of my career is going to be the apology tour. I'm not getting into it.
That.
So does
Also, they're jokes, man. Relax.
So when there is a complaint and your manager goes, Jimmy, I think this is the time you need to apologise, you're like, nah, put your foot down. No,
It depends what it is. Occasionally, if it's tax evasion, I think you can make an exception and apologise. It's a big difference between when you've done something and when you've said something.
Yes. Yeah.
When you've made a joke and people are like going, well, I think he made a statement, and they're acting as if you made a statement, and they know full well you were joking and there was a punchline and it had, it was funny and people laughed, and they go, well, I don't think you should ever make jokes about any. It's a very serious thing.
They're jokes.
Actually,
Yeah.
Can I ask you about your television show, Jimmy Carr Destroys Art, and the controversy around that? Can you tell everyone you purchased a piece of art?
We purchased many pieces of art that were incredibly controversial, and then we let an audience decide whether we destroyed them or not. So it was kind of a physical manifestation of cancel culture. It was quite fun. So we bought we bought stuff by. I mean, let's cut to the chase. This is morning radio. We bought a Hitler.
Wow.
Hitler was a painter. He used to do watercolours before.
Not known for his painting.
Well, he's not known for it, but I mean, no matter what you think of his watercolours, you'd have to concede not the worst thing he ever did.
No.
My favourite piece of Hitler art is a splatter painting he did on the inside of a Berlin bunker of his own brain. That was the joke we didn't use in the show. But
That was the one we left
But it was
out.
like we got it and we said, well, look, the audience can decide, do we destroy this or not, or is art safe? And it was quite interesting to do because I went into it thinking, well, maybe some of these people we should destroy their art because they're terrible people. And then kind of by the end of it, I was thinking everything's kind of got a historical value.
Yeah.
It's by someone terrible. There's a reason to keep it, and that thing, especially with Hitler, never forget. Like you
that's
all
what's
these
significant.
years on, there'd be less anti-Semitism in the world, and actually it's rife.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
rife. So remembering and talking about it and keeping it out there has got a purpose.
Fascinating. I mean, it's a great social study, isn't it? To see
Yeah.
what people believe and see how they behave.
We bought a Rolf Harris. Thanks for him.
Yeah, an Australian artist. Yes.
Yeah,
What was the decision on that
We
one?
put him up against a guy called Eric Gill, who's a very important artist. He did like the front of the BBC, the statue on the front of the BBC
gotcha.
building, and he's done some calligraphy stuff that's very important and still used today.
Right.
What did you do with
Rolf
Rolf?
Sands. So we put them up against each other and had them vote.
Yeah.
But Eric Gill was a worse guy. Let's not get into the details of
sure.
how bad he was, but he was a
wasn't good.
worse.
He was a worse.
If you can judge such things, he was worse. So, and the audience decided to keep the Rolf. They,
Okay. Until the new came out during the week.
yeah, I think he died the week we were filming as well. So not. I mean, it was a controversial show, but we went into it expecting a level of controversy, and then it was like, and to get people talking, and it certainly had that effect. Because it's that thing when you walk into the National Gallery, you have to kind of you go, well,
see
what
it.
we. Listen, if we start cancelling one artist, where does it end?
Exactly right.
Tell me about this, because the message has come through from Russell Crowe. He has said, say hi to Jimmy for me. Ask him, I don't know if I can read this out on air.
There's a company.
Yeah, ask him about the Muff Liquor Company. Have I read that correctly?
The Muff Liquor Company.
Muff Liquor
that is-
Company.
I mean, I'm tempted just to leave it there and have you fired.
Have me sweat.
No,
in
we
the
have a booze investment together.
You pay for it.
Well, Russell and Crow and I drink together occasionally, and there's a few others. I think Ed Sheeran's involved. There's a bunch of us that have an investment in this company. It's called Muff Liquor.
Okay.
I suppose I suppose it could be misread, but there's a town. God, thinking about it, actually,
Sorry
there's
to
sort of a
point it out.
double meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
Oh
a town.
God! Do you know what? I've got to text someone right after this. But Muff. You know the town, right?
No,
It's a town
Right.
outside of Dublin called Muff, and that's where the booze is produced.
That's
so
the
we thought
brewery.
we'd call it Muff Liquor.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
But now thinking about it, now you've said it in your accent, it does sound. And they make this, and classically Irish. They make this potato gin and potato vodka. The potato gin has won all the awards you can win for potato gin.
Yes.
Both of them.
And
But it's kind of delicious.
so
It's
that's
in,
the best. That's the best
yeah.
Muff producers.
Yes, the best, and it's in. Like, they launched it over here on the 1st, like at Coles, ready for the 17th. I think they're going to do a lot for St Patrick's Day. Because
Right.
It's like some people don't want to drink a pint of
a
Guinness,
great
so if you want to drink something Irish
Who
on St
found it?
Patrick's
Did
Day.
Russell call you and say, "Hey Jimmy, I found this Muff liquor. This is going to be awesome."
Well, I don't want to tell you how it came up in conversation. I think there's a certain level of drunk you have to be before you go, do you know what we should invest in?
I know.
A company called Muff Liquor.
But then when someone suggests it, you always go, "I got to be involved. Oh, I'll have to be involved." Hey, Ed, are you in? Well, if you guys are in, I'm in.
Yeah.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie on Nova.
We were talking about pineapples, the power of the pineapple, Fitz. Pineapple necklace, pineapples in shopping trolleys, a pineapple symbol, pineapple pictures on your dress means you're into swinging.
Well, if there's a pineapple upside down in your trolley at the supermarket, that means you are on like Donkey Kong.
Ready to go. Spikes up just means... Oh, actually, it goes on to say in this article, Fitz, extending on the chat yesterday, that the pineapple with the crown pointing upwards means that you're looking for a relationship. If the pineapple's down, you're spot on. You are looking to throw your keys in the bowl. Hey, what am I taking home tonight? The mystery box.
Yeah, you
Pardon
know
the pun.
what? There's a lot of people out there that like pineapples that probably don't know about this.
Love pineapples. And pineapple is quite a trendy symbol on a dress. Don't
Yeah.
you think?
Oh, yeah, it looks great. It smells great. Remember the scratch and sniff stickers? Pineapple
yeah.
was my favourite as well. That doesn't mean I want to swing with other people in primary school, that's for sure.
Tom's got a tattoo of a pineapple on his lower back.
Oh, all right,
And it's upside down. He carries 3 sets of car keys with him. Oh, man, he's looking
Tom's
for
got the
him.
top of a pineapple on the top of your head there with your hair at the moment, Tommy.
Is that what it is? I mean, that's extraordinary. If nobody knocks on your door, Tom, you should be offended. They go on to say there's a couple of other hidden messages at the supermarket. This has been known for quite a while. It's just feeling a bit basic. That if you've got bananas in your trolley, we've discussed this before, that you're open to having a bit of a chat to someone. But there's also a technique in whether you put your bananas facing down or your bananas facing up. So the bananas facing down is a suggestion for the gay community to get involved. The bananas pointing up is a suggestion to the straight community that you are open to the idea. This is where I mean, the banana can often represent, similar to the eggplant emoji, it is a similar shape. They go on to say that if a woman places 2 melons in a...
Oh, come on now. This is ridiculous.
If you put grapes in your trolley, does that mean you've got...
Oh, my gosh. You're better off just wearing a T-shirt that says, I'm desperate.
Yeah.
I am
Someone,
hanging for intimacy.
Anyone, I'll do anything. Look at all the fruit in my basket. If you can dream it, I can do it.
No, I told you, mate, the supermarket is, without a doubt, I think the best place to pick up in the world. And I worked at Franklin's No Frills. And I told you, I caught that couple when I was in the dairy section.
Yeah.
They went into the freezer and they were going for it in the freezer.
That's extraordinary.
We had to kick them. Mr. Bellamy kicked him out. He was a peanut, Mr. Bellamy, but he kicked them out. And I remember the guy on the way out. Mr. Bellamy was saying, "Why would you do something like that? I mean, just for hygiene, that is ridiculous."
Oh, mate, if you're in the fruit section, you're excited.
The guy on the way out was putting his T-shirt back on and he was going, I just love the thrill of the chase. I just love it. I just love knowing if someone might catch us. I'm going, you serious?
Well, the fruit
Mate,
section...
God, we've got our own yogurt. We do.
Tom's getting around with just some...
And yours is past its due date. Get out.
Ashley's called through. Ash, what's your story?
Hi, it's actually with my brother. He used to work at a Woolies, and he actually met his ex-girlfriend there.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
She thought he was good-looking, and then they started a bit of a flirt, and then he actually mentioned that she looked nice. They were like, oh, that's nice, that's cute. Then left, came back the next day, flirted again, and then he actually ended up asking for her number.
See, it's so
That's
good.
not bad.
You can make an announcement over the PA as well. I really like the girl in aisle 3. There's so much you can do in a supermarket. It's the best. Shondell, your brother. Tell us about your bro.
So my older brother, he actually met his wife in Franklin.
Wow.
And 28 years later, and they're still together and married with 4 kids.
Ashley, have you picked up at a supermarket, Ash?
My ex-boyfriend saw me in the health food aisle looking at
Good aisle.
protein powders.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I just started trying to go to the gym, and he came up to me and was just like, saw me looking at a few and being a little bit confused, and he was like, I reckon you should go for this one. And then, he just picked me up and got my number. And then we dated.
It's so easy.
A relationship formed over protein powder. That's when you know you're in for a good session.
Yeah, but see, you also... That area as well leads to flatulence. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people...
Hang on.
So you've got to take that into consideration, but that's a beautiful story, Ash.
And Ash, was that the situation for the two of you on your first date? Had you both had a lot of protein powder?
Yeah, but he seemed to be too obsessed with the gym after a few months. I was I'm not in this anymore.
Ash, have you found anybody else that's more on your wavelength?
Yeah, I have a boyfriend of 3 years now. So.
Oh, great news, Ash. Thanks for your call.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie. Nova.
Hey, we were talking about this yesterday. It's the fail-proof way of testing whether your partner is cheating on them. So on you. The idea is it's the water bottle test, right? So you pretend that you found a water bottle, say if it was in the car, and then you turn to your wife, if it is in our situation, and you say, here's your water bottle. Now, if they take that water bottle and say, thanks, knowing it's a water bottle they've never seen before, that means they're cheating. Because they're trying to hide the fact that it's obviously the other guy's water bottle.
I don't know if this is foolproof, mate, to be honest with you.
So clever. If they say, that's not my water bottle, where did this come from?
Yeah.
Then it's obvious they're not cheating.
Well, you've got to plant it in their car. You told me to plant it in BJ's car, then take it out. Because as I'm leaving the office yesterday, you're giving me a water bottle. I'm going, yeah, just give it here, mate. That's fine. But then there's an element where my heart started skipping a beat a bit. Could I be in a bit of trouble?
Well, can I remind you not long ago that BJ very, very voluntarily handed her number to a bloke on the street who was running without his shirt on, who pretended to be an old friend from school.
She was just doing that for a laugh. I think she picked it up early.
No, she wasn't.
Well,
So did you, after the water bottle experiment, the ultimate test, are you feeling comfortable? Are you okay? Should we listen to the audio?
I was nervous. So I got home and I had an orange water bottle, which I knew she would have had no idea whose it is. And I was coming up the stairs and she greeted me with a, hi, honey. And then I passed her the water bottle.
Hi, honey. Hey. That's your water bottle from your car.
That's right.
Good.
Sure? That's good, honey. Well done. You're not cheating on me. High five. Yeah.
Should I be cheating on you?
No, that's the rule. That's what you have to do. You've got to plant a water bottle in your partner's car, and then you say, this is your water bottle from your car. If they say, oh, thanks, that means they're cheating on you. No, you're not having it.
Well, whose water bottle is it?
It's someone's from work.
Well, it's in your car because you just got out of your car.
You just be thankful you're not cheating on me.
So were you cheating? Is she?
Then it turned into an argument, and unfortunately, we're going through a divorce.
There was a fight over whose water bottle it actually is. I couldn't sell it. It was just one from work. You know what? I think I complicated mine. I was nervous as well, mate. I was panicking. But what I didn't realise was that when Lisa was driving out the driveway to get the kids, and I quickly ran in and pretending to tell her something and then say, hey, I've got your water bottle. But she was on a phone call at the time. So it's almost like I'm not sure whether she was probably cheating but didn't want to admit it in front of the person on the phone in the car.
With their lover, she was on the phone.
No, I don't think it was. It was another girl. Have a listen to the audio.
You're right to get them?
All right, I will. I'll go through
You've
that.
got your water bottle.
What?
Sorry,
Sounds your water
Natal.
bottle.
No, not at all.
What is that?
Hmm?
What is this?
It's not your water bottle?
No.
You're lucky. It's a test to see if you're cheating on me. You passed. You must love me.
What?
Water bottle test. Huh? Loves me.
So
Would
weird.
never cheat
I
on me.
call. Bye.
This is more important. You could have been cheating on me.
Didn't really care.
The wrong time.
Terrible
She was on a
timing.
call,
I
mate.
panicked. I didn't know she was hands-free in the car. I panicked, and then I went, here's your water bottle. She didn't know what was going on. She was
Tommy,
lost in the moment.
How do you feel this morning after you found 7 water bottles in Inga's car?
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
Nova.
Oh, the chief exorcist of the Vatican. This is inspired by true stories.
That's what makes it even scarier.
Oh, we've seen this movie, and the man that plays the chief exorcist is the man himself. I want to, if you can, Mr. Crow, start with the voice that you use in the movie. Good morning.
Buongiorno.
Oh my goodness, good morning, Mr. Crow.
Che fai, principessa? That's all I know in Italian. What are you doing, princess? Mate, welcome.
What are you doing, princess?
Buongiorno. No, John Bono.
How you doing, guys? You good?
Yeah, we're well, mate. Thank you for coming on the show. This is a phenomenal film, and as Kate was sitting there grabbing my leg intensely, I was more turned on by your ability to speak Italian. It was beautiful.
Easily pleased, it seems.
I mean,
you went to Rome to research this, though, the character, Russ. How much do they let you in, though, like the church?
Yeah.
Did you get to go in there and see a bit of what was happening?
Yeah, have you had a private tour of the Vatican?
Oh, many times. But, specifically on this, the Vatican were extremely open. They gave me access to people who are friends of his, to his former colleagues, brothers in the same order. I met a man who had performed 160 exorcisms with Father and more. But the Vatican have always been very generous towards me. And recently I was in Rome doing these interviews and meetings, and I had my kids with me for about 6 days. And they just offered it, would you like to walk through the Vatican Museum just with your family?
Wow.
And so my mum was there too. And, we went on this incredible tour just by ourselves. We were in the Sistine Chapel by ourselves, right? Man. And, I'm sitting there thinking, this is such a privilege, because I've been there before, but there were thousands of people. Right? And they always have just natural light in the chapel. It's natural light. They don't, turn on any light. So everything's kind of muted in there, And this guy came up to me and he goes, for you, we're going to turn on the Pope light.
The Pope light?
What do you mean? And he goes, well, there's sometimes the Holy Father, he likes to come for contemplation, but he likes to see all the paintings. So we push this button and this whole room, it's like full light, So the color, the tone of the light blues change. And now you can see the expression on people's faces in a different way. And it's just this magnificent experience. And my kids were awestruck, And as we were leaving, I said to the guys, thank you so much for that, man. That was incredible. Why did you do that? And he goes, Maximus, you are the 8th king.
Maximus!
Because that's what I was going to say.
That is amazing.
Anytime you would go back to Rome or there's a role to do with Rome, mate, you're a walk-up start. Like, that city
last
loves
year
you.
they actually they gave me an honorary title, which was very, very kind of them. The mayor of Rome, in a ceremony at the town hall there.
How good is that?
Ambasciatore di Roma nel mondo. So I'm the ambassador for Rome in the world.
That is so good, and you're selling it beautifully too.
It's such a shame. Sally from Home and Away doesn't really get you opening as many doors as...
She could have done it. If Gladiator was a
you
female
get free
role...
fish and chips at Palm Beach.
I do! Not even that, Russell. Not even that.
And in Yabby Creek.
I have to walk to the lighthouse on my own.
And I was wondering too how you'd be this morning, because I'm just looking at the lineup for Indoor Garden Party. Did you perform last night?
No. The new shows start on the 9th of May.
May.
9th of May. So we're going to be in...
This is awesome.
Coffs again? You going to Hoey Moe?
Coffs Harbour. Yeah, we're going to do 2 nights again at the Coffs Harbour and Hoey Moe.
Any
we're going to do the Glass House in Port Macquarie. the Bridge Hotel in Sydney, the Cherry Bar in Melbourne, the SB in Melbourne, Miami Marquetta on the Gold Coast, the Triffid in Brisbane. We're actually playing at Australia Zoo. You can see a crocodile show, then me, and then another crocodile show.
And an exorcism at the same
We're going to
time.
play at the Canberra Theatre, and we're doing a gig at the Sydney Opera House. That's a bit of class, right?
Oh, wow.
Sydney Opera House, bit of a class. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Please,
Now,
what
have
did
you-
Lennon say? Just rattle your jewellery. And we finish off in the Manning Bar in Sydney.
Oh, there
Can
you go.
I just say, because Kate's new to the show, it would seem rude if we didn't do the first Fitzy and Wippa team event indoor garden party.
It's not bad.
We've all got to go.
What do you mean?
Red Room.
Cool.
Even Byron. Let's all go to Byron.
No, did you?
Cool.
Can you remember when you guys first met, Kate? Can you remember when you first met
You know
Russ?
what? I think I feel as though we've known each other for a very long time. I'm not sure how it might be through industry circles, football circles. It's all.
Yeah, you were little, baby, when we met. You were like, weren't you? You started as a kid, right?
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
I
you got to
think
remember how long I've been around. You know, I did my first gig when I was 6 years old in 1970.
What was that?
You know?
Was it an ad?
So I've been working as an actor for a very, very long time. So in my memory was some sort of thing, and I think it was something like, they did an audience vote thing one year.
Yeah.
Gary, the fellow from Police Rescue, Gary Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
He ended up
Sweetie.
winning. I was nominated for a award, but I think it was in that. Do you remember? It was,
like in the
what did they
Logies,
call
at
it?
the Logies or something. I think
Not
you
the
actually.
Logies. It was another thing.
the
It was an
actors?
audience vote. No, it was
People's
another thing.
Choice. Remember the
People's
People's Choice,
Choice.
and it only lasted a few years. I actually think you introduced me to Leonardo DiCaprio at the
Whoa.
Star one night as well.
What?
Okay, well,
So, and then I think-
that would have been when you were older.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Well, but not older than 22.
Was like an exorcist that night.
Russell.
Leo, I have all of the women under 22 in Sydney for you to meet, please.
That's extraordinary.
That is brilliant.
So, first things first.
Okay.
What was the gig when you were 6, Russell? What was the acting gig?
Yeah, what did you do?
It was a TV show called Spy Force.
Yeah.
And it starred Jack Thompson.
Yeah,
So my first line on camera, and the one and only line I had in the show, and I'm not even sure if it was used in the show. I think it was over my shoulder at the time. Was with Jack Thompson.
Isn't
And
that
then
special?
Now he's your
years
good
later,
friend.
we
yeah.
got to star in The Sum of Us together, and we basically had a lifelong friendship. One of the reasons that I bought my farm up in the bush is because that's up where Jack's place was, or nearby, and I'd spent quite a bit of time, being up there. And
How cool is that?
recently, man, when we played at
Poker Face.
the Hoey Moe in Coffs Harbour in January, right? 82-year-old Jack Thompson got up on stage and played harmonica with me and Troy Casadei.
Oh, man.
It was so cool.
Oh, how great's
It was
Troy.
very cool. It was a legendary moment. I don't know if you know how well Jack can play the harp, but if you've seen the movie that came out that I directed last year called Poker Face, there's a sequence in that when he plays this shaman and he starts playing the harmonica, and that's one take live.
He's good.
Of Jack just playing at night time in the bush, So yeah, he's really good. So that was a bit of fun.
Love.
It's an incredible thing, that the job that I do. There's these sort of karmic circles that you work in,
Yeah.
You have these very close relationships with people. But unlike sort of other professions, you don't necessarily get to see that person all the time because you're on a cycle of travel or what have you.
Yeah.
So, for me to know Jack when I was a little boy and then to play his son when I was in my 20s and to still have the strength of relationship that we do now and
beautiful.
Enjoy each other's company. Yeah, it's magnificent.
It is magnificent. The Pope's Exorcist starring Russell Crowe. You got to finish off with a bit of deep Italian for us before we go, Russ, if you can.
Russell.
Oh, I know. I don't want to put your listeners on such a high that they can't.
We love you, Russ.
That they might need a nap and a tap. So we probably shouldn't do that.
We love you, Russ.
What a pleasure.
Mate, good to see you again, brother. Look after yourself.
See you,
Thanks, legend. See you, mate.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie on Nova.
Life hacks. We need to motivate each other at the moment. Give us one. 13 24 10. Let's get stuck into it.
We like the Life Improver. How good's the Life Improver? Oh yeah, the Life Improver. Your life, improve it!
Get ahead of getting ahead with InvestSmart's Fund Later. Understand the benefits and risks at fundlater.com.au. AFSL 226435.
All right, I've got a genius hack for you. This is a young woman. Doesn't say what state she's from, but it's Australian. This has gone viral around the world. Parenting hack. How to stop your kids from lying.
Oh.
So she talks
Is it
about...
a taser gun?
Is it something to do with the iPad?
No, this is what her parents did to her. Have a listen to this.
The best parenting hack that my parents ever used was that they told my brother and I that anytime we lied, a blue dot would show up on our forehead. So anytime we were lying, we'd wear a hat, so it always knew when we were lying. It's foolproof. It's so smart.
Funny. Funny.
It's like the old hack of saying...
It's written on your forehead.
If you wee in the pool.
If you wee in the pool.
So did that never exist?
No. Well,
if you wee in the pool, it's going to go purple.
A purple ring will go around you, which never happened. But if you tell your children...
How do you know it
that
never
a blue
happened?
dot will appear on your head if you're lying, they can't see their forehead, so they don't know. So if you tell your kid that and they're covering their forehead as they're talking to you, you know that they're lying.
That's a good one.
They use that in court a lot.
It's really good.
Susie, hello.
Okay, I've got a two-part life hack. It's when you're making nachos or tacos and you go to the supermarket to buy your ingredients, instead of buying salsa from like the Mexican corn chip taco aisle, I buy my salsa from the potato chip aisle, and that's because it's half the price.
Why is that?
The same quantity. Then when I make the tacos or nachos, instead of adding the salsa to each individual taco or nacho bowl, I add the whole salsa jar to the meat mixture that I've cooked. The flavour's already in there.
You agree, do you, Kate?
Oh, yeah.
You agree with that?
Susie,
I've
the
done a bit of
nacho
that.
queen.
I didn't know about the different aisles being different prices, though. It
check it
makes
out.
sense, because if you think, I'm going to have nachos, you go to the Mexican aisle.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do that.
I know.
Good
Susie,
start.
that's great.
Great start. Jason and Colby.
Guys, how are you?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Colby. What is it?
What's your life improver? It's Jason.
Whipper.
It's Jason, mate, not Colby.
Oh, sorry.
Jace, what is your life hack?
You know, if you get a post-it note,
Yeah.
don't throw it out. Reuse it on your keyboard for getting rid of dust. Stab it.
Shut.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what about in between the keys?
Because it's so thin, it gets in there and gets it out, Jace.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you'd have some pretty sick stuff in your keyboard, wouldn't you, Jace? From over the years.
No, my keyboard's very clean.
Oh, there you go. Because you've got
a little bit different to your search history, though. Am I right, Colby? Filthy animal.
Life hack. What do you got?
So, like, if it's a really hot day in summer, then you keep a stubby holder in your car. So if you pop it over your gear stick when you go to the beach, and then when you come back, it's not too hot to handle when you get back in the car.
Wendy, that is incredible.
It's not bad.
Is it?
Actually,
Especially hot days at the beach, coming from Avalon.
there was another one.
I know.
There was another one that I saw, which is like an inflatable umbrella kind of thing.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
So you put it in your car. So when it's really, really hot, you go to the beach. As you're leaving your car, it blows up, Kate, onto your windscreen. So then it cuts out all the heat.
Covers all the black.
It
like the
reflects the heat off.
steering
and
wheel
nothing's
and-
hot in the car.
Really clever. And then you don't even need to worry about your stubby holder for your gear stick.
No, but
Oh, that's a good one. Come on, don't have
No,
a
it's
go.
not,
Are
mate.
you being rude?
How long does it take to put your car from a P to a D?
Oh,
like nobody's going, I've been sitting here for half an hour waiting for this thing
Matty
to cool down.
did a TikTok on it and how hot it was. His steering wheel.
That's when he decided to leave social media for good.
Louise, life improver for us, Louise.
Life improver is if you have a seat warmer in your car and you go to the takeaway, you order that pizza, you stick that pizza on your seat warmer next to you, and it stays hot the whole way home.
Oh, yes, Louise!
Must be a fancy car, Louise. What are you driving?
Oh, that's it. You've just got to buy the best. It's probably one of those Range Rovers like yours.
Wow. That is true.
This is Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie
On Nova.